I'm a both. We go live on here, but with this screen. With this screen is live. Okay. Yeah, okay. So who are on right now? Good evening, family, and welcome to this week's edition of What's Going On. I'm your host, Pastor Akin Bandele. I welcome all of you tonight. I hope you have had a good week. My week has not been so good, but we're going to talk about it tonight. But do me a favor. If you have not subscribed to our channel, it would be nice for you to support us and subscribe to our YouTube channel tonight. And also press that notification bell so that when we go live, you will be prompted. I know I can't even, I'm supposed to be getting my folk on Facebook and on TikTok, but we've not been able to do that. But so everybody on YouTube, we thank you for joining us tonight. Go ahead and share the video. Invite your friends to join us. We're having conversation about money tonight because that's been on my heart for the past 10 days. They are taking my money. So I'm going to see if my guest tonight can show me or tell me how I can get my money back. So we're going to talk about money. What's going on with my money? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So again, we welcome all of you. Do me a favor, go ahead, like, our channel, subscribe to our channel, press the notification bell so that we know when we go live, you come with us. And but we're going to have a great discussion tonight. And this is going to affect everybody. I mean, everybody. If you live in America, this program tonight will resonate with your spirit, especially if you've been watching everything that's going on with the stock market and with the banks and with all our money. Eggs is still high. Food is still high. Water is still high. Everything is high. And I know these people are even getting high now. So you are going to help us tonight. I've got my guests with me tonight. I'm going to bring them on screen one by one. We have Lady Betty with us tonight. I have Brother Myers with us, and I have Brother Terek with us. So Fire Librarian said, yeah, great topic, money, 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 money. Thank you, Fire Librarian. Oh, Dr. Dustin is in the house. Dr. Dustin, God bless you. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see Lady Betty. Lady Betty, if you're not able to join us, I understand because it looks like you are moving around. Your screen is bouncing around. If you're not able to join us tonight, I can understand. If you cannot be at
Is
the
my
place,
screen bouncing or you just see me moving?
I see you moving. So if you are busy tonight, we can give you a pass tonight.
I want
Uh,
to be on, Pastor. That's okay.
then you
Um,
need to be in a place that you can be.
yeah, I'm about to.
Okay, brother, AV team, you can take a
I
video
I
off
can
right
take the
now.
video off.
Just take video off of the screen for me. It doesn't look right. We have taken a video off. Take that video off for me. Thank you very much. Uh, all right,
Hello.
brother, brother Jonathan, thank you for joining us, and brother Terry, thank you for joining us. AV team, let's just make it three of us tonight. I don't think Lady Betty is available to. Yeah, but I see Lady Betty on the screen, and then I'm gonna be so confused. I can't see her. My guest cannot see her. That's not the kind of program I want to have tonight. I'm sorry, Lady Betty. Sorry. Just put her out of the program. If she cannot be in a place, just put her out of the program. I don't want that on my screen tonight. Thank you very much. Well, family, welcome all of you tonight. We want to talk about money. What's happening with my money? Brother Terry, good evening. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Pastor. How about yourself? You and Jonathan.
I'm not doing too well.
I hear that. I hear you.
Brother Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm blessed. Can't complain.
Yeah, I'm blessed too, but this money is getting funny. Well, let me tell you what I'm talking about. I'm getting very, 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 very frustrated right now with our leadership of the country. Because, no, and I'm glad I got both of you on here, young people, not because President Trump is doing a good job or not doing a good job, but because I'm not seeing the all the promises that were made, things are getting worse. When President Trump took presidency in January, and you all know he watches the stock market. He talks about the stock market. Everything is going up. Everything is going well. Now we're going down the toilet. I ain't hear none from President Trump. But, oh, you're just hang tight. Hang tight? I lost $30,000 in 7 days. What do you mean hang tight? I'm mad. And not because the stocks that I have, not because the companies are not strong. They are strong companies. I mean, strong companies. But when you have leadership that's wishy-washy, where tariff is on today, it's off tomorrow, it's on today, it's off tomorrow, all of this instability causes the market to crash. They would rather you say, this is what we are doing, and you go for it. And we may take a hit for 1 or 2 days. But when you don't even know what you want, I have an issue with that. I'm not planning to get rid of my stocks because these are great companies. And these companies are doing well in their field. But we have the leadership of the country that's sending us into just a piece of hell financially. And again, you know, I've got thousands of dollars in the market. So when you lose $30,000, I know there are people that lost billions, okay? Don't get me wrong. Elon Musk lost, what, 16 billion? And other people lost, you know, in the millions. I understand, but they are billionaires. But I couldn't afford to lose $30,000 like that in 5 days. So how are you all doing with your money? Well, I mean, the only thing that's doing well for me right now is just my real estate. And that is even going down. Even my real estate investment is going down. And then I'm looking at stocks like Nvidia and you know, the Amazon is doing a little bit well, better now. But people like Microsoft and Facebook and all of these stocks of good companies going down, not because the companies are not doing the right thing, but because our leadership sucks. Excuse my language. Talk to me, Brother Eric.
Well, I mean, truthfully, the world that you exist in, the average American, you know, especially probably watching this program, is not going to be as versed, to be honest with you, and fair. There are some that have, you know, some small things maybe that they've gotten into, but to the point of losing $30,000 in 5 days, the general public probably won't be able to relate to that as probably as passionately as you. So
Okay.
let's get that out the way. But I will say
Thank you.
this: but there is also a coming storm that it seemed like we thought we would be ready for with the new regime. We did believe that it would be some things that would change. We've been accustomed in America to seeing that change happen gradually through presidency, and so we have never really seen it have this kind of microwave impact on the change. And I think that uh, we're still trying to gather ourselves and be ready for it. But then people like yourself and those that are watching that have similar interests like you guys are seeing it a little more immediate. The average work day-to-day guy like myself, maybe Jonathan and anyone else, the general public, we're just happy that we're making some income on our jobs or our companies that we run. Our bill, you know, we don't owe anybody that nobody not taking our house or our car from us tomorrow. But a guy like you losing $30,000 is a big, impactful message to send to America. So this show today should really bring light to that, and also let people see that it is a real change that's happening right before their eyes, as opposed to normal presidencies that gradually, almost in most cases, at the end of their presidency, you start even
Yeah.
seeing some eventual change. With
Yeah.
this regime, you're seeing it immediately.
Yeah, Brother Terry, believe it or not, maybe because I'm very savvy when it comes to money, 80% of Americans that are working for a major firm, 80% have lost money. They just didn't know it. They don't know it
Yeah.
because they're not
401k,
checking.
the 401k, the 401k.
Thank you very much. Their
Yeah.
401k is drying up. Their SEP, self-directed SEP, is drying up. Their IRA is drying up. Their Roth IRA is drying up. But these are people that we call average Americans that work a job and save up with IRA retirement and Roth retirement, and they're working for a company thinking that, oh, I got $40,000 stuck up in this company. Your $40,000 is about 32 today. And they don't even know it because nobody's telling them nothing, right? And then I even have an IRA account to let you know how bad it is. I have an individual retirement account, which is just an IRA that anyone that's working in America, you can put, if you're single, I believe you can put up to, I think, 5,000, 6,000. And if you are married, it goes up a little bit. You can put a sizable amount away every year. It used to be 2,000 when I was growing up. And now they're up to almost like maybe 5,000 or 6,000 that you can put away in IRA. And I did a couple of them like that. And it was growing slowly because I put it in a package where it's not tied to the stock market. It's just it's more secured, like bonds and all that. Guess what? That still lost about 10%. So we may say, I know because I'm savvy when it comes to money and investment. But the average person that's just going to work and they're not checking their 401k, they're not checking their SEP, they really don't even know they've lost a lot of money in the past 6 days. They don't know that. So, and I hear you, Brother Terry. Thank you for bringing that to perspective for us. Brother Jonathan, what do you think?
I compare it to like lifting weights. When you're in the gym, you're tearing your muscles, and when they heal, they come back bigger and stronger, and you're able to lift more than you did previously before.
Okay.
So I say that to say this. Sometimes things are going to get worse before they can get better. My question is, it just doesn't happen overnight. He's been in office since January 20th. Yes, it looks bad now, but I wonder what the trajectory would have been if he didn't go in there and started auditing and started making changes and implement tariffs. Like, you got to start to think about, why is this man trying to increase tariffs so much? Why? Maybe because the problem that he found or what he anticipated was just that bad and they were trying to recover. Maybe this is something that he saw, his people saw coming, that the American people didn't know about. So that's why you have the increase of tariffs, not really wanting to doing it, but we located a problem and this is the only way that we could possibly fix it. I have questions. So I'm not like Brother Tarek said, the normal average American is just happy they can turn their lights on. You know what I mean? Not everybody's.
They don't know that they are being raped.
Not every. I would bet that more people do not have ROA accounts and 401ks than more people that do.
Really? The ones that work for companies? No, most companies that you work for, they give you a little bit of money. But it may not be a whole lot. Yeah.
You're right. But who actually is participating? The percentage of people actually participating can't afford to take that small percentage out of their check towards this particular account, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I get what you're saying. But if you think about the average American and how much debt they have, I don't know too many people who are actually investing in these type of accounts. So I have questions. I'm just one of those people who's just like, it's been 2 months. I'm not basing his whole presidency on 2 months. I'm not necessarily going to blame him, and I'm just gonna see what happens. You know,
Okay.
that's just
Okay.
my opinion.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I guess the reason I really say that is because if you work for any major kind of company, even if you work for McDonald's, if you've been there for 5 years or 3 years, you have a little bit of 401k. You may not contribute to it, but the company gives you like 1% or 2% once you become vested. I think some companies say you have to be here for 3 years to be 100% vested. And we have millions of Americans that are vested with the company they have been at for 5 years and 7 years and 10 years and 15 years, only to see they're not saying it because they're not even checking, or they didn't know it's affecting them. To be real with you, they don't know it's affecting them. And you got some of them that used to put $2,000 away, that they have it for 30 years ago and still there. They don't realize they've lost 20% of their money right now. Many of them, because they don't know, they're not checking. But then, I appreciate both of your comments, though. I know President Trump has been in office for a couple of months. I guess I'm just concerned because I started liking some of the stuff he did, which is, okay, we only have 2 genders. Man, I applauded that. I was saying, let's go, boss man. And it's only male and female, no other gender. Okay, go. But then you got people like Elon Musk, the billionaire, that's just, been in charge of Doge. And to me, they're doing, in my opinion, I think they are doing really bad. Because even Tesla lost a lot of money in their stocks. To where 4 days ago, Elon Musk literally brought all the Tesla vehicles to the White House. And the president is pimping us these cars. Talking about how Elon Musk lost a lot of money. He's trying to help the country. Now he's lost money. And they paraded that ugly truck. I can't stand that truck. It used to be a garbage trailer in 1968. I got videos of I got something that's funny about that, actually. But again, paraded the truck, paraded the S3 and the Y and the X. And then the president, our president, very tall, 6'3" or so. I was expecting him to jump in that big truck. Man, he went for the little bitty Tesla. I didn't want the red one. And I'm going, so now you've got a billionaire in America, one of the richest men in the world. Now our president becomes a salesman trying to help him sell his cars. I mean, to me, I've never seen this kind of stuff before since I've been in America. Another issue that I have, again, he did well deporting all the illegals that didn't come in right, and I understand all that. He promised that. One thing I give to him is the fact that everything that he said he was going to do, he's doing it. Okay? He is doing it. And I really applaud him for that. I mean, he's done more in the past month and a half for some of the things that needed to be changed, like this, when women being women, men being men, and I applaud him for that. But my problem is, he's got people around him, in my opinion, that are greedy and just looking out for themselves. Remember, during the election, Elon Musk said something, and I heard this with my own ears. He said, man, if Donald Trump loses, I'm effed. That's exactly what he said. That's when he was given $1 million, a day, if you come to the voting, to vote and all that. But again, I guess I'm just hot as a firecracker because I've got stocks that I've had.
We could tell.
I mean, I had stocks that I've had for over 20 years. I bought these stocks at $13. It got to $980 a share. I wrote it, and then it split 10 ways, and I bought back into it. Now I've lost almost 40% in 5 to 6 days. Not because we're not doing well in America, but because we got a leader that cannot tell us exactly where it's going. Now, about tariffs that you were talking about, Brother Jonathan, I think he might be using this as a bargaining chip, because the reason he wanted the tariff on Canada and Mexico is because the drugs that are coming in from there that the borders were too porous and all that. And I understand that. But when what you are using to bargain is hurting Americans that you are trying to protect, I've got an issue with that. Let's go to our channel tonight. I want to thank Lady Betty is joining us. Lady Betty, everybody said they're disappointed that you are not in a place or in the studio or somewhere where you can join us. They can see your beautiful face. But thank you for joining us. Dr. Dustin from Louisiana, thank you for joining us. Fire Librarian, thank you for joining us. I see Sister Emmy. Emmy, thank you for joining us. Good evening. She said good evening. I hit liked. Thank you for joining us. Alice Graham, thank you for joining us. Amen. Lilette Newton, thank you for joining us. Cherish supposed to be on the program tonight. I noticed she came in and then she left. Maybe she lost some money too. She didn't want to talk about it. Well, Cherish, thank you for joining us. I know a lot of people who don't invest in their accounts. She said, Hakeem 18, I'm definitely investing. I'm definitely contributing in my 401k. I hope the educational system not doing us teachers that bad. It's not the educational system, son. It's your president talking trash. I mean, it's not your system. It's not the company you work for. Trust me, all of these companies, they are doing good on their own. But one thing about businesses in America or in the world is they hate instability. They hate when you are not stable, you know, and that's the issue. I think he wanted to put the tariff on Canada and Mexico to try to negotiate with the drug, coming in to say, okay, close your borders, try to, minimize the drugs coming into America. If you don't, I'll put tariff on you. Now you got a economic warfare going on, which in a way you put tariff on Canada, Canada then put tariff on everything that comes from America. So now you got this economic warfare going on. Guess who's going to pay for all that stuff? You and I will pay for those tariffs in the stores, whether you believe it or not. You're going to pay it when you buy a car. You're going to pay for it when you buy your groceries. You're going to pay for it when you buy tires. You're going to pay for it when you build. When there's no lumber to build, when there's no iron, you're going to pay for it when there's no energy. Now, Canada is talking about they're going to retaliate also. You put a tariff on us, we put a tariff on you, on all your stuff. So now we are turning our friends into enemies and our enemies into friends. Okay, I'll let you all talk to that. I want to give a shout out to Sister Emmy. Thank you for your $10 contribution to our channel. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. She said, what about the spoiled brats who will not support anyone? A little support goes a long way. We cannot do the simplest things for one another, but rather complain. It's every man for himself. Hey, listen, sister, I hear what you're saying. We don't do, I think Brother Jonathan said that before. We don't support each other's businesses. Was that right, Brother Jonathan? You said that before. That we don't support black businesses. We spend our money where they don't like us. Yeah. Look at how much Target lost in a few days when black people decided we ain't going to shop at Target. And I saw a video in Atlanta, Georgia, when a lot of black people went to Target store. They filled their cart with all kind of goods, and then they parked it in the aisles and walked out. Without buying anything. All right. Thank you, Sister Emmy, for your contribution to our channel. We believe it or not, that $10 goes a long way on our channel. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Cherish, a lot of companies don't put anything if you don't match them. Thank you for that clarification. Amen. Fire Librarian, they say, God bless you, Sister Emmy. Everybody's blessing you for blessing our channel. My issue are that elected officials are not competent to run the various agencies without a bunch of That's right. That's what I'm saying. Why do we need all these billionaires that don't even know, they don't know a hole from their backside? And they want to run stuff. We are getting rid of people that have been there for 3 years and 4 years and 5 years that knows what's going on. Listen, we are playing with World War III. We are playing with fire. Because, okay, you can hear me tonight. Let me tell you something. I'm an IT person. I understand cybersecurity. I understand cyber attacks. We are in for a roller coaster. And I'm going to talk more about that close to the end of our program. But Brother Jonathan, I know you were saying just for the people, what about the food in the grocery store? Eggs is still going up. Milk is still going up. Groceries are still going up. We're going to wait 4 years before the price goes down. Talk to me.
Nobody was saying nothing when they were going up. They didn't just start going up.
Okay,
Everyone was quiet when they were going up.
Yeah.
So, and another thing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The tariffs don't have to do majority with drugs. What the problem was is that other countries, i.e. China, were going through our backs and setting up shop closer to America to build their factories and all these other things to get past the tariffs.
Okay.
And the trade agreement, Bill Clinton, everyone's favorite president, he sold off all our steel factory jobs. He sold them off to different companies, different countries, and allowed them to set up
shops,
shop in different countries near to us to basically build friendships. Canada is not our friend.
Why? Okay, hold on. Why did you say Canada is not our friend? Why did you say that?
Because they're not trying to renegotiate the trade agreement. We're simply asking countries like China, like all these other countries, hey, you don't want to pay tariffs? That's fine. We need jobs in America. Set up your factories in America, which would then give people more jobs. I'm also taking away the tax on overtime and tips so that it would incentivize people to work. It does not have to do with so much about drugs. America does not care about drugs. If they did, we wouldn't have the crack epidemic. If we did, we wouldn't have heroin. Like, if we did, they wouldn't be pushing Adderall and opium. They don't care about drugs. They care about money. That's it.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for that insight. What about you, Brother Terry?
I'm just glad I'm a part of this to hear some of these things because I will say this, Pastor. We have a lot of things that this conversation could turn into because I saw it almost turn into, what our president is and all that and who he elected. I say this much: the reality is this: the America that we knew yesterday will be a changing, and we have to be, I guess, trying to educate ourselves. Jonathan, I commend you, man. You are much younger than me. However, you are very well versed and aware of what is happening. I would say this much. I hope a program like this makes those in my generation and above, wake us up to understand that there are some things we do have to educate ourselves on because we're only going to get hearsay. Jonathan, I'm sure you bump into a lot of those type of people that they have more hearsay, so they have a lot of negatives and a lot of anti this and anti that thoughts, but they don't understand the background of it. Pastor, I think a program like this, you're making it known to people to watch their money a little closer because, as Cherish did say, I come out of a company that I left and I had to take my 401k with me, but I remember when I lost $14,000 in a day on my 401k, but I'm one of those who watched it. I watched mine. Most people don't watch theirs, and they not because they're careless, I guess because they're not used to having those type of revenue streams, or most people don't even understand. You know how many people retire and they are told, "Oh, you got a 401k. Oh, you got this amount of money." They like, "I do," and they've been getting it deducted from their checks for years.
But they trust those companies. They trust those companies.
Well, I don't think it's about trusting them. I think it's that they're just like you said, they're not used to that type of revenue being portrayed in their lives, right? They're not used to saying, I got you can ask a lot of younger ones. They don't know what a 401k, they don't know what that is and what happens. And Cherish was saying, they match it. What they do is they go in my company, I'll give you an example. They gave us 3%.
Okay, hold on, Brad Tarek, you mentioned Cherish. AV team, get Cherish on for me. She's tried to get on and the system knocked her back out. She wanted to be on the program. So Cherish, if you're watching us, your name just came up again. So go ahead and join us. If you're in the place, you can join us and we'll pass you on. Go ahead, Brad Tarek.
Well, I was just explaining that people like her, she's aware. The average person is not, and because they're not watching these things, and so like they'll see someone like you on a program like this, and be like, oh, there go the rich people getting hurt, and us regular folks, we all right. It's not about rich or poor. It's about people and their investments and losing them gradually or in a rapid $30,000 place. They all feel the same in the end. So I think
Yeah.
knowing stuff and being educated will be I guess the remedy more. If this program can do anything for the listener, it could bring don't ask a lot of the petty questions about the rich and the poor and who care and don't care. America, we have a lot of different personalities in America, and
Yeah.
there are some who really, really care, and some who could care less. Most of those who can care less are those who don't have as much to gain or lose. Those who have more to gain or lose, real estate, investments, of course, they're gonna be more amped to be involved. But the thing is that educating yourself is free. Jonathan didn't probably have to go pay nothing but his cable bill to get some information. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't know that for sure, but most people need to be educated on the things that are coming. And I think, and I speak for myself, I am being woke up by you, Jonathan, and Pastor, to be more vigilant. So I say, I thank you for this program, and maybe we can get something out this that brings us not so much like the young lady Amy said about complaining or having more to do to complain, but just learning, because the more we educate ourselves, the less we'll be caught off guard, Jonathan.
Well, let's answer Amy's question. My issue are that elected officials are not competent to run the various agencies. And then you have the one that's not elected, that's running around like a rat all over the place, changing stuff. And do you know the judge just ruled against the administration to rehire all those people they fired? I mean, come on. Hey, Sister Cherish, welcome to our program tonight. Your uncle is hot tonight. Your uncle is hot.
We need you, Cherish. Come your uncle down.
I lost $30,000 in 5 to 6 days. And these are all companies that are great companies. And I was just telling the listeners that it wasn't because the company wasn't doing great, but because, to me, we have a president that is wishy-washy and got people around him that are greedy bastards. Don't understand. There are people, listen, I met two young men this week. Their accounts in the negative, and they are working. And I had to get on the phone with the bank. Why did you charge this young man $39 overdraft 5 times in a week? He bought a burger for $3. You charge $39. Then he bought a coffee for $5. You charge another $39. Why didn't you just charge him one time for overdraft? And thank God they listened. They were nice to me after they understand. Listen, I've got 11 accounts with your bank. I'll close them all down because you are ripping these people, young people that are not learned. You are ripping them off. You gave them $200 overdraft. Charge them $39 one time until they spend that $200. But don't charge them $39 every time they use their debit card. So they ended up refunding $5 of the $39 back to this young man. Again, somebody has to speak out. So, Sister Cherish, what do you think? What do you think is going on with our money? What's going on with your money?
Well, I could tell you right now, since Trump has taken office, the dollar has fallen for the past 3 months, from January till now.
Yes,
I have
ma'am.
watched the dollar bill decrease, which means other countries' money is increasing.
Nigeria is even, you want to hear this, Sister Cherish? Nigerian money, Naira, during Biden administration, $1 was 1,800 Naira. 1,800. So if I send $1,000, I've got over 1 million Naira. Now, Naira is getting stronger. It's now 1 to 1,400.
That's for most countries. The Great Pound,
Euro, and all the other money.
Even Mexico money.
Yes, Mexico money is even getting stronger than the U.S. money. And I'm saying, what's going on, guys? What's going on?
Well, it's a lot of back and forth. I mean, I was reading the news today, and he was trying to lay off the Department of Education workers the more things he do in the country, the weaker the dollar gets, because other countries see us as a country that doesn't have,
Unstable.
there's
Yeah,
no
we're unstable.
stability. And the market shows it, from the stock market to Forex, all of it showing it.
I know you're in Forex. Yeah, for you, I don't know what Forex is. That's foreign exchange, where you trade dollar and different. My sister there, she did it very well, made a lot of money with it, doing really good, and she worked hard at it too. But being able to learn all of these currencies and being able to trade and turn $10,000 to $100,000 and all that, or turn $500 into $5,000, and working it. But then to just wake up and see that there's really nothing going on that should affect this money, but somebody just talking trash and making.
Believe it or not, every time he speaks, the market go crazy.
I know. So, well, let me go back to our channel. Amy said, Pastor, do you think it's the church responsibility to teach financial literacy? Sister Amy, people that are members of New Covenant will tell you, I have taught not computer literacy, but financial literacy for years. New Covenant actually grew. The first year of me in ministry, I started a ministry called Free Indeed, where I got over 1,500 people in the city of Houston out of debt. I partnered with a couple of churches. I had conferences, 1,100 people at the conference, took my workshop, was able to get out of debt 12 to 18 months, totally debt-free. To where, everybody, I see some of them today. One of them is my neighbor where I live now, bought almost $1 million home and told me, you don't remember me? No, I don't. Well, you got me out of debt, 14 years ago. And now I run a business. So New Covenant as a church, our ministry, I do teach it. Does everybody pay attention to it? No. I remember when I was teaching at church about everybody at New Covenant, I want you to own your own home. Do you know I have some people that said, what do I need a house for? I can rent one. I couldn't believe it. Literally they told everybody.
I would like to answer Amy's question, though. Amy, to answer
hold on, Ratari, hold on.
Okay.
Everybody is not cut out to own a house. I said, what do you mean? We serve Jesus Christ. He said he owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. All gold or silver belong to him. But his children can now own real estate. So, Sister Amy, we do teach it at New Covenant. And I'm going to let Brother Terry, he wanted to chime in on your question. Do I think it's the church's responsibility? Personally, I think the church needs to teach whatever we can teach to help our membership, to grow spiritually, to grow economically, to grow, emotionally and all that. So, Brother Terry, you want to say something to Amy?
To Amy, I want to say this. The question has a kind of a double standard. If I teach you finances, what do most people say about the church and finances? Well, all they want is my money. So if I teach you about money, most people will be a little reluctant, not because they don't need the help, because they think, well, he only trying to fatten my money up so I can give it to him. So a lot of people have a resistance. Should the church teach it? A lot of people have resistance because they don't want to. The theory is that a lot of people. That's why tithing. You a pastor. You know what it is. We talking straight here. This ain't a church channel. You say this is what's going on. So I'm saying if you teach me about money, I'm only thinking as if the church. I'm just speaking of the church. You said, should the church be responsible for teaching us about financial literacy?
I'm listening.
I'm saying when you do that, the thought is, well, they only teaching me to do this so I can give more to them.
Okay,
so
stop. Let me respond to that. Stop right now. Let me respond to that. That is the most idiotic thing I've ever heard in my life. You are a broke fool that don't have 2 quarters to rub together, and you come to church, you looking like a silly goat, and now the man of God taught you how to make $5,000, $10,000 a month, and you think you giving the 1,000 What was, I know. Jesus said, the poor you have with you always. I guess you're just going to die poor. Because for you to say the church is teaching me to be able to buy a house, the church is teaching me to turn my $10,000 into $100,000 so that I can increase my tithe, what's wrong with that? At least you're not going to stay broke. So that's the broke mentality. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, brother.
Amen.
So go ahead, talk to me. Talk to me what you mean.
It is a broke mentality, but if you looked into most churches have a mindset that is kind of anti what the scriptures teach when it comes to money. They are very reluctant to mix in the church and money. If you mix church and money, most people have a negative mindset about that. Whether it's a right or wrong thing, whether if you ask Brother Terry, I don't agree with it, but I'm only speaking to the question. That's why I said it's a double fold, because a lot of people have a skepticism, and whether we talk about it out loud or in corners, people are skeptic to talk about money with church, especially if you charging me. Now, if you keep doing it for free, you look, Pastor King go and say, for free, I'm gonna teach everybody how to do this. You're gonna have a lot of folks show up.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't. No,
you say, give me 15.
No, they did not.
Terry, give me $15. Oh, no. It ain't for $15. Give me $15.
Brother Terry, stop it. Watch this. Watch this. I taught how to build credit for free.
Yes, you did.
How do you build your credit? Other people are charging you $499 to build your credit. I'm teaching these jokers how to build their credit. You know what? They didn't show up. They didn't show up. So the second year, I did it at the Power Center. I charged I charged $35. 700 people showed up. Now, help me make that make sense.
So let me respond.
How many with church members, though?
When it's free, they think it has no value. They don't have nothing tied up into it. Okay? So I think, for instance, and then let me tell you, then you have churches, Sister Amy. You got churches that don't teach it. Their pastor flies a jet, has a Bentley, but all the members are poor as a church rat. And everybody, hallelujah! They go to a mega church. And then you blame those pastors because they are wealthy, they're doing well, but they don't teach their members nothing. Right? Now, because I guess they feel the way Brother Terry feel. If I teach them, they're going to think I want more of their tithe. So let them be broke. Let them give them whatever they got. But then the ones that are teaching it, then I'm hearing that, if you teach it, it must be a double-edged sword. Brother Jonathan, I know you're quiet. Talk to me. What do you think with all of this stuff?
I think Brother Tarek is speaking from, he's being real.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what he's saying is not wrong, it's true. And people won't tell you this. They won't share this with a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
They'll share it with a saint. They'll share it with a brother or sister in the church. You may think you know a lot, but it's a lot that people won't say to you because of the fear of being judged.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard what he said before, not from church members, but from friends, from family members, from all different people I come across. They have said those words that Brother Tarek is saying to me right now.
Okay.
That why they care about my money, they're gonna make sure I'm all in my business so that I can give back to the church. I've heard all of that. It may sound strange, but it's not strange because I've heard it before.
I see.
They will never tell you how they really feel about the church.
So you think we should just leave them broke and let them keep shouting?
I think that because you say we're in the end times, we should focus more so on their salvation and getting them into heaven. And
but they are saved, Brother Jonathan. They are saved.
I keep trying.
These people are saved.
If they saved, then read Proverbs. Okay, if they're saved, go read the Bible. It's going to tell you how to get your money right. I think sometimes we have to. I think just where we at in the climate, we should focus more so on their souls. There's YouTube University. You can Google how to get out of credit. You can Google all that other stuff. Go pay somebody else, because there is a negative thought process when it comes to church and money. There just
So,
is.
so
I
what you are saying
disagree.
to Sister Amy, I'm hearing the church need to get out of teaching anybody about money
I disagree.
because they feel like
no.
no, that's what I'm hearing because that is the word in the street. That's what Brother Jonathan said. The word on the street is, oh, the church is teaching me how to manage my money so that they can get more from me. They teaching, well, they just teach me how to get to heaven. That's all I want to know. And then when their marriage broke up, oh,
That's
the
not
church
what I'm
is taught
saying.
about marriage.
That's not
So
what I said.
See,
explain
that's
what
why
you
you
are
don't
saying
get.
to us.
I
That's why you
said,
don't get
see,
to
that's
be in
why
them
you don't get through
conversations.
conversations.
That's why you
I
don't get to
said
be in the conversation.
I have heard what Brother Tarek is saying.
Yes, yes.
I've heard it, so it's not far-fetched. These are how people thinking. My opinion,
There
not
you
telling
go.
you what to do. You can do whatever you want to do. But my opinion, with the climate that we're having and with us being in the end times, just focus more on the salvation and making sure people's souls are prepared. If they want to know about money and how to be a good steward, go read Proverbs. If they want to learn about this, that, and the third, point them to the direction or to a trusted source. But as far as
Okay.
the church, you've had issues with it. You tried to do it for free. They didn't show up. When you pay, I guarantee you there weren't mostly church people coming that paid. There were people that outside that you had to send those 1,000 texts to. They weren't our members showing up. There were
Actually,
people outside the church.
what happened was a church, it was a large church in this city that felt like their church was doing really well and their people were doing bad. And they saw my curriculum, and that church decided that all their members that have financial problems to come to that workshop, and the church asked them to only pay $10, and the church paid $20 for each person, $25 for each person. So you
Now, what
pay
is the percentage
$10,
of your members? What is
and
the percentage of your members?
I would say maybe 20%.
Okay. Now, like I said, you should point them to an outside source. What did that church do? They pointed them to an outside source. Maybe because they felt like if I did this course, my church people will feel like I'm trying to get into their pockets. This is the same thing we've been saying. Point them to an
Okay.
outside, trusted outside source. Like how that church just paid, hey, y'all pay $10, we cover the rest. That's kind of like what I mean. Like you, as for your church, as for people thinking the way that Brother Terrence expressed and what I've heard, point them to a trusted outside source and let them know, hey, I'll help you get to this house. I know of somebody who got a program or something like that. But if you just said only 20% came from your church, the other 80% came from an outside source, it deals with more so the members.
Yeah,
Brother Terrence
because,
was talking about the inside members.
well, believe it or not, that church is a 13,000 member church. Only 600 of them, 600 of them came.
That's a lot.
Okay, 13,600. Okay, so anyway, Sister Cherish, you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
So I don't think that we should deter from teaching because of what people say. If we was all into a business or being a pastor as you are, and you worry about what people say, people talk all day, every day. I
Oh,
do
I
think
know.
it's the educational. I do think it should be taught in school, first off. Starting from a
Yes.
young age, even if it's just starting them on saving money, taking
Yes.
$1 and taking 10% and put it here, and take 10% and put it here. Then I think it also is a part of the church as well to help teach people how to save or how to do things concerning finances. Even if you do it on a Wednesday night and for Bible study purposes, you bring in a person from Chase Bank or somebody to teach financial literacy, I think it's a great idea because, believe it or not, people are in financial issues because they don't have nobody that taught them.
That's
If I didn't
right.
have a teacher, I can't learn. But
That's
if
right.
somebody's willing to teach me and take the time, even if I don't want to learn, it's a lot of kids that go to school today that don't want to learn. But if somebody take the time and the patience with them, guess what they're
Yeah.
going to do? They're going to learn. So
Yes.
yes, I do think it's the responsibility of our educational system and the church to
I
teach our
see.
people financial literacy.
I see. I mean, we got grown people in the church that can balance a checkbook.
That's right.
I don't.
But
You
how
know.
can I do something that I was never taught? If
Yeah.
nobody taught me how to balance a checkbook, how should I know it?
You see, the reason I started really teaching financial literacy at the church is because the church kept loaning people money and those people cannot pay back. And then they leave the church. And that went on for 5 years of our first 5 years in ministry. We spent close to $500,000. Because we were trying to help them.
Mhm.
Just help them. Then I finally realized these people cannot be helped until they are educated.
That's right.
Because their rent is not paid. Then you help them pay the rent, and then they cut their light off. You find that they haven't paid a light bill for 3 months, so you help them pay it. But nobody taught them, turn all the lights off, turn your AC to 78 when you go to bed. Don't leave it at 50 degrees and then put 3 blankets on yourself, because nobody educates them. So in my first 5 years of ministries, I kind of did what Brother Jonathan was saying. I will, and Brother Tarek, I will send them to go to the banks to talk to the banks. They're scared of the banks. Then I will send them to Dave Ramsey's workshop, where he charges $300 for his workshop, so they don't go. Then I send them to this. Finally, I say, you know what? Let me just do it myself. So you see. So with that said, I still believe, because I know a pastor that tells me, he doesn't teach nothing about marriage. He doesn't even have a singles ministry. He said those people meeting each other anywhere, in the club, on the street, everywhere. They're sleeping. They're doing what they want to do. What you trying to teach them?
You still got to.
What you trying to teach them at church for? Then he said, why you teach them about marriage?
If you say one soul, it's a win.
Or one marriage, or
if
one
you
person.
Say one, that's right. It's a win, no matter what. My opinion, though.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Sister Cherish. I see Alice Graham says she just paid $7.99 for 18 eggs. $7.99. Hey, I see my buddy back there. How you doing, son? That's my friend. Yes. All right. Emmy said, good point, Sister Cherish. I agree with Jay Myers, because we are friends, Canada, as long as it's in your favor. Oh, I see. Emmy is saying he agreed with you that as long as things are in Canada's favor, we are their friend. Thank you very much for that insight. Betty said, what happens as you watch it being lost? What will you do? Well, I leave that what I do to myself. I make money moves. I already made a couple of moves. I made some yesterday. I made some today. So yeah, I can say that online. Okay. Dr. Dustin, does it help to remember that Trump only has 2 years to change the federal government and constitutionally laws to ensure he stays in office? What do you mean stays in office? He can't stay past 4 years. Are you talking about Brother Jonathan said, oh, you're crazy now. What do you mean it's not good? After 4 years, it's going to be gone. Brother Jonathan, what do you think about that comment?
I think that people already made up in their mind they don't like this man. So they're going to hype up anything that he does that they don't like. But they were quiet for the past 4 years while the country got into shambles. This didn't just happen overnight.
But it's making it worse. But I'm not, Brother Jonathan, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's a good president or not a good president. I'm saying, why don't you be stable and be focused instead of just going wishy-washy? That's what I'm saying. That's the instability I'm talking about. If you're going to put tariffs on Canada and Mexico, do it, let it rip.
They're negotiating. They're negotiating still to this day.
Yeah.
That's why there are holes in their pauses, because he doesn't want to do it, but he's looking at the mess that's been left and he's thinking about the future. It has to be done.
Why didn't he do it behind closed doors instead of tabling it all out there? Because if you do it behind closed doors and negotiation, it will not affect the market.
Pastor,
ain't his
we're
personality.
talking about Donald Trump, man.
Yeah,
Come
he don't
on,
hide
man.
behind
Don't do
closed
that.
doors.
You know he don't do nothing, Pat. I mean,
Transparency.
That's not transparency. That's just killing all of us, man.
That's his view. His view of it is that so much has happened behind closed doors that we didn't know. He's looking at it like, I'm gonna show y'all everything. Now, when you have to see everything, you got to see everything. You know, and that may not always
and the
look
bad,
good.
huh?
You know,
good and the bad.
Okay, Fire Liberian said, I'm watching everything. Yes, people are hurting at every level. Thank you, Fire Liberian. That's what I'm saying. People are, listen, I'm meeting young people, 19, 20, 21, 22, that are hurting. I mean, losing their jobs. Right now I've got 2, 3 of them that I'm mentoring. All of them lost their jobs. And I'm trying to encourage them. I'm trying to teach them. I'm putting them under my wings to try to help to build them up and teach them. I know Brother Jonathan said, let's teach them how to get to heaven. Yeah, I already teach them that. They got the Holy Ghost. They got baptized in Jesus' name. They spoke in tongues when the Holy Ghost came. They're on their way to heaven, but they're broke. And I need to get some money in their pockets.
Broke people, believe it or not, broke people cause people to sin. It causes you to start doing things to make things happen.
That's right.
That's why we have so many robberies and murders and everything else in the world, because people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, y'all. I mean, come on, Chairs, man. Folks been broke for a long time. Why you think it's so hard to teach money education? Because the vast majority of even though there are people like yourself and Pastor and myself who have had some education of things, and in our families, most of us have been the pillar that have probably turned the tide for some of our family. But the majority, and we're speaking now, I'm speaking for my own community now, I'm not speaking worldwide. We didn't have a lot of examples teaching us anything other than pay bills. Work, pay bills.
But just because I ain't have an example, just because I didn't have an example don't mean I can't be better.
Okay, Sister Cherish, if you don't mind, tell them your story. I don't want to tell.
I'm getting there. So if you think about it, I didn't come from nothing. I didn't have a dad. I had a mom, but she wasn't really there. So I didn't have money or anything growing up. Now, my aunt always say I could be bitter or I could be better. I chose to be better. I chose to go to college, get an education, and get a job. I chose to learn financial literacy, how I can make money here, I can make money there. Now, don't get me wrong. Things happen in life. But when we fall down, we got to learn how to get back up. And I'm not saying it's easy all the time, but it can be done.
Now, taking that.
Hold up. One more thing. So we say that we've been broke all our lives. You know what the problem is? People living above their means. We're not broke. It's about living above our means. We didn't got the social media. We see people with new cars. We see people with new clothes. The women see weave, makeup, and all these things. So now we want to go out and buy these things. And that's myself included. I mean, include myself, because Lord knows I like nice things. But if we live within our means, if I make $500 every 2 weeks, I need to live within that $500 every 2 weeks and not want to live at $1,000 every 2 weeks because I don't have it. That's why most people live paycheck to paycheck. They buying other things, they doing other things. But when you want to do other things, you got to take that money and save it. Go get you a second job, sis.
Yeah.
I met a girl, she's literally 23 years old and homeless right now. She told me she's sleeping in a park.
Wow.
She worked one job. So I said, well, why don't you go get a second job? You know, you get 2 jobs, you may have to work 24 hours a day, but that's just so you can get on your feet. People don't want to put in 100%.
And it's temporary. It's not going to be permanent.
Yeah, and it's temporary. Yeah. Or why don't you work your job and go to school? Get some kind of, things going on. Go be a nurse. Go be something that you're going to easily get a job. Right. People you got to want to put in the work. The word didn't say nothing was going to come easy. We got people that get it easy, and guess what? Later on, they may fall off in life. We all can't have it easy. I didn't have an easy road.
I want to say this openly and honestly because I seen you as a little girl and I see you as an awesome grown woman. It's been a little while.
Entrepreneur too, yeah.
I think that you are a great example for our women in this generation. I would love to see you on a larger platform where you are educating them because you've been there. Unfortunately, most of them don't have a Cherish in their world. Most of them come from we look around us, they come from a lot of the older people who have given up and given excuses. So how can they teach them? And it's in the vast majority, which is why the education and educating them is a great tool, but the participation in education is lacking. It's not necessarily because people are just dumb or bad. It's some of them are just what they call habits form. We all understand habits, and these habits are or that's
Pass
why they use
down.
the term. And
Yeah,
I know
pass down. Yeah.
people might attack me when I say this, but I do. My family members know this, okay? And I'm gonna tell my family on. I don't like it is what it is, because it is what it is says that I can't pray to change
can't
it.
be better. That's
I can't
right.
expect God to change it. So
Mhm.
most people live in a is what it is mentality. Cherish, would you
I
agree?
agree.
They have a is what it is. So they kind of just David said this and I'm just trying to be, because we are a church. He said, if I make my bed in hell, you'll come get me. Well, making my bed in hell is what a lot of people have done, Pastor. They have said, well, at least I'm in the hood, or I'm in this situation. I'm gonna decorate it. I'm gonna make the best of it. Me and you
Mm.
walk in there and go, man, why you living like this? Like, oh girl, the lady that's sleeping in her car.
Mhm.
That has become, I don't know if y'all know the stats, and Jonathan, you probably would be able to tell me, but the stats of most people living and sleeping in their cars have doubled or
Yes.
tripled in today's
Mhm.
economy. Not so
Yes.
much that we used to have a shame for that.
Brother
Now it's
Terry.
almost a fact. I met an Asian woman, y'all. I was doing Hobby Lobby for pest control. And this lady was in a nice car, like a Porsche Panamera or whatever, but all her stuff was in it. She was sleeping in it, brushing her teeth. She had a little toothbrush, an Asian woman. She said she came here and she was staying with a family, like one of them boarding families, but it got overcrowded and she had to go. But she don't have any credit. She do a little work. All she has is her car. And the reason I saw her, because I was doing the back of the building. She came back there to kind of wash herself with the water, on the side of the building. And I'm looking at
That's
her. And I'm
sad.
saying, this
That's
woman don't
sad.
look like
In
she's supposed to be
America.
homeless. And
Yeah.
she lived in a Panamera. Y'all know that's a Porsche Panamera. It ain't no
Mhm.
cheap car. But all her stuff was in it. And I said, she said, it's a lot of us. She said, the parking lots be packed with people sleeping in their cars. Where did that come from?
Brother Eric, let me interject with that. Wait a minute. I always say this. If you can put these two works together, Land Rover and landlord, you're a fool. Why do you drive a Land Rover and you got a landlord?
I'm telling you, I go in people low income housing. And this just the other day, I'm like, they got a brand new Mercedes, but you in
Uh-huh.
Section 8 housing. You driving a Range Rover, but you in Section 8 housing. It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. It just doesn't. But people want to take their money and do what they want to do with it.
There you
They don't
go.
want to take their money to pay a bill. They prefer to go buy them a new outfit, new cars, new weed, whatever they want to buy.
New
Nobody want to be
iPhone.
responsible in the world anymore.
What about new iPhone? When the iPhone costs more than your rent.
Child,
And
look,
then
I
you
got a
looking at me with
12.
Google eyes in 2 weeks for me to help you pay your rent. The devil and his mama is a liar. You gonna be homeless or go sell that cell phone that you pay $1,500 for. You can take that $1,500 and go move in with Jonathan
Well,
or
half
move
the
in
time
with
they're on a
Terry.
payment
No,
plan.
no. No,
Most
no.
people have a payment plan for them phones. They pay a
Yeah,
certain
but
amount
can
of
you
money for 3,
imagine
4
you
years.
paying $50 a month? You know what that can go to? Why can that $50 go to
A
your
water
savings?
bill. That's right. A water
Yeah,
bill or something.
that's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying. And anyway, Brother Jonathan, you wanted to say something? Go ahead.
No, I get what Brother Terry is saying. And a lot of people don't have a cherish in their life. A lot of people don't have a Pastor Hakeem in their life. Brother Tarek is speaking to the 95%. That's all he's doing. He's telling y'all exactly
I
how it
didn't have a
is.
cherish in my life.
Yeah,
That's true. That's true. And I'm not saying that because it's an excuse. I'm saying it because this is the reality. Like there's no excuse. But we got
yeah.
to speak to the what the reality is and what the majority is. Like anytime you try to solve for a problem, you got to first speak to what the majority of people are going through. And the majority of the people are so happy to get anything to feel good. I remember you brought it up a while back, bro.
Yeah,
Terry.
yeah.
People just want to feel good.
Yeah,
They want to
Tarek
feel
said that.
nice.
Yeah, Tarek
They
said
want
that.
to
Yeah.
they want to spend something on themselves. But I think
Mhm.
it has to do with a lot of social media, more so than anything. It has to do with their habits that they were just born into. They saw mama doing this, they saw aunties doing this, they saw uncles doing this. It's tough. It's tough. I get everything that you say,
Yeah.
and I agree.
Yeah,
But
but
I get what he's saying though.
Bro Jonathan, my niece over there, and she's been brutally honest with you all.
Hmm.
No parents in her life,
Hmm.
no really family members that will hold her up. She had no good example. Mama didn't go to college, daddy didn't go to college. She didn't have an example of that. She went to college in spite against all odds. And she didn't graduate, thank you, Lord, either. She stuck with it and finished strong. This is why my wife and I, we had to go to our graduation, because she had no help. She had no help. She had no family support. She had nothing. She literally had Jesus Christ, and she made up her mind, I am going to walk with the Lord and let him take care of this child. And then when she finished, she continued to learn, continued to evolve, married now, with 3 children, still learning and growing. Yeah, my wife and I got in her life, but we were not really there 100%. I mean, I saw her maybe once or twice a year. And I remember Sister Cherry, I used to give her money every time she would come to Houston. There was one year I gave her money, and she looked at me, she said, Uncle, you don't need to give me money anymore. And she gave it back to me. I'll never forget it as long as I live. She said, Uncle, you don't have to give me money anymore. So now, somebody also, Tarik, I know you also mentioned about these jobs. To show you people do what they want to do. I was talking to a lady that's a homemaker, making thousands of dollars every month on TikTok. I said, TikTok? That's a social media. She said, yes. So she pulled up her account. Oh, Pastor, I just made $1,800 last week. Huh? So I sat with her, and she taught me. This was 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. She sat with me for about 15 minutes, 30 minutes at a birthday party. And she showed me how to do it. She said, but Pastor, it might take you a year. You need to get to about 1,000 followers. Right now, you got 137. And you've been on TikTok for a year and a half. TikTok thinks you are a joke. And then she began to show me people that, one girl was making $500,000 a year on TikTok. I'm looking, I'm going, and they ain't pushing nothing. They're not selling any, they're not manufacturing any products. They become influencers because TikTok noticed that they are good at what they do, just talking and doing what they do best. And they put it out there, and their followings grow. And because now you have 50,000 followers, they start sending them products, clothes to wear, bags to show off. And all this material stay on your showcase. And every time people purchase this stuff, they're getting paid. So she began to teach. Also, she taught me 3 weeks ago. I went from if you go to my TikTok channel today, I went from 137 followers to over 2,000. Off of 3 nuggets she gave me. And I call her every other day now. Okay, what do I need? Say, Pastor, keep going, because I think TikTok's about to approve you for influencer, and they're going to give you this. And I'm thinking, and I'm an old man. And you got all of these young folks with cell phones. I know a whole lot more than I do, but they're not doing nothing. So, and that's my point, to where I'm saying, if I'm an old man and I'm learning the young people technology that they are using to make money, why are the young people that created this stuff are not using it to earn income? So again, I think it depends on what individual want to do for themselves. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go in life? And I got to a point where I believe, I started believing that scripture, the poor you have with you always. God knows I don't loan money to anybody anymore. I'm not a bank. My name is Bandele, not Banks. I don't anymore, because they borrow from you and they feel bad when they cannot pay it, and then they run off. Especially at church, I made a decision. Pastor, I ain't loaning you a dime. I give it to you if I can afford it. But I'm not. But if I loan it to you and you come to Bible study, you think I'm thinking about the money. No, I'm not even thinking about the money I loan you. But then within a year, boom, they're gone. And I'm going, why did they leave? And I call, oh, well, Pastor, I owe you, $1,500. And I'm not even thinking about it. I forgot I loaned you the money.
Pastor, you from Africa, remember, that's a hood practice right there, man. Terrence, I'll tell you, uncle, that's a hood practice, man. You from Africa. You know you come from honorable people. You can't come outside unless you make it right. In the hood, oh, that joker gonna avoid you. He know what time you take the trash out. He ain't going outside. You know, he gonna get in his mama. Oh, my mama called, cause that's a hood prayer. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say that out loud.
No, that's good. I'm enjoying that. All right. Well, I think our time is up, but let me go on. Before I let you all go, Sister Amy said poor spending habits need to be addressed. You know, you were caught with your hand in the money jar. People buying stuff they don't need with the money they don't have to impress the people they don't like. Vivian said, what does the Bible say about the USA? Oh, that's going to be a whole new Bible study in itself. Maybe I teach that another day. Hakeem 18, as an educator, school should be teaching this to younger people while they are in school. Yeah, they need to teach them money 101. I was just teaching my granddaughter. I'm a distributor of, I don't know where I learned how to make lemonade. I never make lemonade in my life until my granddaughter asked me to make it. So I went researching AI. They showed me how to make a healthy lemonade for people that are even diabetic. So I'm making this lemonade, and now
that lemonade good.
But guess what, Brother Jonathan? She called me on a Saturday night. Papa, I need 3 gallons of lemonade on Sunday morning. I said, baby, that's not the way the world works. When I'm a distributor.
That's the way her word works.
No, but guess what? I didn't make it. Because I had to train her. I said, baby, wait. Tell your mom and dad, if you have an order for lemonade, you need to place your order on Thursday. Papa will have it for you on Sunday. And then when I bring it to you, you need to pay the distributor, which is me. She said, oh,
the real world.
She said, Papa, but why? I said, because the last time you sold 5 or 7 gallons of lemonade, you never paid the invoice. She said, she said, ask my daddy, ask my mama.
So but that's the real world.
I'm trying to teach her, baby, no, you want to order from a distributor, you have to give it time for shipping. And then you have to count your costs. You have to pay your invoice for what it costs to make the gallon. And here, and she's only 7. You know what I mean? And she told me, Papa, you forgot my corner, my business. I said, I didn't forget. You just ordered too late from your distributor. She just busted out laughing. Anyway, Amy to Brother Tarek. That is prosperity churches who line their pockets, not those who educate us. Brother Tarek, Amy is replying to your comment about, she's saying that people that are teaching them, churches that are teaching them are totally different. That you might be talking about the prosperity preachers. You know, the wealthy, they fly airplane, they want you to buy them a Rolex watch when you don't even have, you want to buy a Movado watch for them when you don't even have a place to stay. Anyway, thank you for that comment, Sister Amy. Vivian, Pastor, they were broke goat, now a wealthy goat. You may not get the joke. Goats are people that go from church to church. So they were broke goat, now the wealthy goat. Tony Dustin, Pastor, there are very few church leaders like you. Oh, thank you, Dr. Dustin. I appreciate that comment. Not only the credit classes, but also business ventures. Yes. I have several people in the church that they told me the attorney was going to charge them $1,500 to do their corporate papers. And I did it for them for free and help them, show them how to file the incorporation paperwork, show them how to get the tax, the tax ID, show them how to open a bank account, how to write the bylaws, how to do this. When you take money from your business, do it at arm's length. I mean, we have a CEO ministry at New Covenant that teach people that want to be in business and we are running business. Last year, we had about 5 people that formed corporations last year. Amen. So thank you very much for that comment, Dr. Dustin. Vivian, I have to go to a bigger church. Fire Librarian, do a part 2 next week, please. Okay, we will. They want us to talk about money next week. All right. Dr. Tony, you are so right. Vivian, Pastor, because you need to continue to teach. Thank you very much, Sister Vivian. Dr. Dustin, that's why he's trying to change the federal government. If people listen during his campaign, he's just about spelled it out. Jonathan, going to respond to that. I know. I agree there has been many things exposed. The problem is when the truths that are exposed are exaggerated with lies. Again, they're talking about Elon Musk and President Trump. They exposed something, but then they exaggerated it to make people not even believe them anymore. Just like they said, there's a 150-year-old woman getting Social Security. I don't know how that happens. Let me see. What country the iPhone come from? China. And they can't even afford the iPhone in China. Everyone does not measure success or well by the same standards. Yes, I believe that. Beautiful, Sister Dene said, Sister Cherish, that's a beautiful testimony you gave tonight. Brother Terry said, laugh for the people in the back row. Thank you, Pastor. I went from 325 credit score. Okay. This is somebody that says, now, Hakeem 18, thank you so much. I know who you are now. He said, Pastor, I went from 325 Beacon score, credit score, to 715 just from your teaching. They don't teach credit 101 in school. Where else they going to learn it from? So me being a pastor, and I'm gonna trust that the people that say pastor keep teaching it, I'm gonna keep teaching it. Whether there's 2 people there or 3 people there, we're gonna be teaching it. Thank you very much for all that. Well, I'm gonna give all my guests about 30 seconds. Closing statements. I'm going to start with Brother Jonathan. Come on, bro.
I really ain't got that much to say, but I think a lot of times in our community, it's generational. It's just generational. It's the norm. It's frowned upon to be successful, and when you get to a certain level, they look at you differently. I think the narrative has to change. I think what we celebrate has to change. We have to stop celebrating the rappers, stop celebrating only the athletes, stop celebrating only the singers. Let's start celebrating some of the other things as far as academics and schooling. Like, I think we have to change what's cool, and then it would follow. I think we have to make something else cool. Let's not make clothes, shoes, the cars, and all that stuff cool anymore. I think we have to champion other things than what's normally been championed. I think we can do change. It starts with our kids now, our generation now. With my kids, we're not really doing sports. We're not pushing music. My kids can't dance. They don't know the latest TikToks. None of that stuff. We're not pushing that. So I think we have to just change what we've been doing with our kids. I think it's not necessarily too late, but I think we have to start with the younger kids now.
Thank you, Brother Jonathan, for those comments. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Brother Tarek, 30 seconds.
What we have to do as a country is be able to be awake. And we try to be awake about so many things, but I think one of the main things that we need to be awake to is educating ourselves to the direction that we're heading in and how it can affect you personally. And I think platforms like this, as well as personal conversations with people like Jonathan, Cherish, yourself, myself, be a part of those conversations and intentional to try to see what can I learn, what can I take from that conversation that I didn't know before I came, so that I can use that in my family. So if you want to, to be continued next week, but I say that's a start right there. Get yourself intentionally put in situations where you can grow your mind to what is happening in our world economically, socially, and other areas that you see that you're gonna need some strength in.
All right. So Cherish, 30 seconds.
My comments would be, let's be the change. Let's do the change. Let's see the change. It starts off with us as parents to the younger generation, bringing them up. I'm not saying my kids won't do sports, but our focus is on educating them about their schooling, about finances, and investing. I think if a lot of people learn how to invest, we could all make a lot of money together. We need to stop being crabs in a bucket. We don't support one another business because we worried about our sister, our brother making more money than us, wearing the latest things that's better than us. But if we all could just come together as one, us as and I'm going to say an African-American community could be very powerful if we just got together, stood together, and worked together.
Amen. Thank you. And I like what you said. I mean, look at our small channel. Sister Amy, Last week, she was the only one that supported this channel. Again, this week, she was the only one that supported the channel. And she doesn't even live in Houston. And she also was at our Bible study last night. She lives in Dallas, Fort Worth somewhere. So, so I really agree with what all of you have said, that we need to start supporting one another, supporting each other, and not be a crowd. Family, I'm so sorry we went so long tonight, but this conversation, Pastor had about losing $30,000. But guess what? I'm going to get it back, okay? I am going to get it back. I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. May the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face to shine upon you. Until next week on this same channel, this is yours truly, Pastor Akin Bandele, on this week edition of What's Going On with My Money. Good night.
Good night.
Is that the person?